Finding our groove at this stage in life is a good thing. Speaking of things musical on the New Look Jim and Terry show, I left an article right by your eggs this morning.
Yes, yeah, the Stampeders.
The Stampeders. Great Canadian band. That you could deliver that. Whoa, that's amazing. I am very not worthy to be in the same room with you, my musical friend. Yeah, excellent. That was an amazing band, and I think it was Rich Dodd. I'm not sure. But
is that his real name?
The double neck guitar.
I should have changed it to Rich Dodge.
Maybe it is Dodge.
I don't know.
All right, we don't know what we're talking about, but we are talking about music.
Was his an Ovation?
No, it was some kind of double neck, and I'm going to say it was Gibson, and I bought the downsized version of it because I saw that on stage. I saw them at the CNE. And
I did too. I wonder if we were there together.
Now,
and didn't even know it.
I was not at the big grandstand. I saw them when they were in, I'm going to say it was the Winter Festival. Do you remember when the
No, I was at the grandstand.
Okay, you were at the grandstand. Yeah. So I must have saw them before they...
Not the band shell, the grandstand.
No, that's even bigger.
The stadium.
So I saw them in the winter, whatever the festival was, when you take your classes down to see the cows and the horses.
Yeah.
They were
Agriculture Festival.
Yeah, so they were in that building, and that's where, the Agricultural Winter Fair. So they were there in that venue. So they must have, I saw them before you did them because they got big in Canada really quick.
Yes, they did. And I remember them talking about coming into Toronto on the 401. They went with what is this? 16 lanes. Where are we supposed to go?
We've all been there coming into some metropolis and seeing the same sight. Yeah. Unless you've grown up in Toronto, in which case you get desensitized to it. But yeah, the big city.
Yeah. So you saw the guitar. And I just want to point out, and my brother Bobby will confirm this, that sometimes you'll see pictures of the Beatles with Epiphones.
Yes, you will. And
now he's going to correct me. I hope
I'm going to. Well, I'll check that out and see if Bobby writes in and saying anything about it. I was saying I couldn't afford a Gibson, which is true, but I did get the lower end, which is I didn't get the Lincoln Continental version of the instrument. I got the Epiphone version, the Ford. And I did that just because our group was disbanding and I needed to become a lead guitarist as well as a rhythm guitarist. And the double neck let me do that.
That's cool. Was the other neck 12-string?
Yes.
Oh, beautiful.
Yeah,
beautiful.
It was a nice sound, although I told you during breakfast that I had trouble getting the right tone on each of those pickups to do the right thing with the right neck.
Yeah. I can understand that. I was talking to my brother Bobby just the other day about acoustic because I have a little Malibu. I love it, but its sound is a little Malibu. It's a Fender Malibu, but it's not the big body. And I'm saying, a lot of people that do acoustic, they buy the acoustic amp, and they can set it up, or we were talking about finger picking. I said I can finger pick, but if I use my Telecaster and finger pick directly into my computer, it just doesn't come out right. It's too low or muffled or whatever. Where lots of finger picking, you hear it's beautiful, it's clear, it's pristine, and lots of times that's because it's mic'd, and they go through that way. Anyways, as far as a knockoff, one of the finest Telecasters I've ever played is a knockoff.
Really?
I liked it better than mine.
And
I've got
Japan,
it American made.
Oh, you got American made?
I got American made. My Telecaster is legit. Yeah, it's probably worth $2,500, $3,000.
Wow.
Oh, you'd never, just because it's worth that don't mean you're going to get it.
True. I do have aspirational dreams. Before I retired, I always thought this would be my retirement dream, was to get a home studio. Well, this is sort of my space.
You do great with what you have.
I do well. I've tried to max out every capability of every little bit.
Well, you do great. You do better than I do, and I got a better setup. Like I got not a better setup, but I got a better recording process than you.
Yes.
I'm just way too uneducated to figure it out.
And
bored with things or whatever it is.
Yeah, getting distracted, and a learning disability does not help even at this stage in life to overcome some of the learning that's required to master some of this stuff. So I appreciate all of that.
I get exhausted. I can't go very long.
But naming guitars, we did this in a podcast. Maybe we revisit this annually. do you have an aspirational instrument that, if you could upgrade from your Telecaster, would you? And
Oh,
if
I
so,
would.
what?
I would love to try. It's the Fender Mustang, or there's another one. Like there's a Fender Mustang and one like it, and they were really basically the Beach Boys sound just before the Beach
You
Boys.
talking about a big full body semi-acoustic or something like that?
No. It's electric, but it takes some mastering apparently. But that's where you get all the pipeline sound, like. So I've seen. I know Courtney Burnett. I'm a bit of a fan of hers, and she has. It's either a Mustang. I can't remember what the other one is, but I think it's a Stingray or something. It's Fender. You'll have to look it up after this because it is quite fascinating. And
But it's a big full body.
it's electric guitar. It's you'll recognize it when you see it. It's but it's Fender. Very expensive. They would probably start at $3,000 and go up from there. And they're a beautiful guitar, and I would like to try that for a while because I'm longing for more of a rebel back to the basic sound. So after I finish Prophets, Priests, and Poets, I'm probably going to go right back.
Well, there's a Fender Mustang. Is that
Yeah.
what you're talking about?
Well, let's see. Yeah, that's probably a Mustang. And
Okay.
there's another one like it, but it's not a Mustang.
So that's a solid body
Yes.
with pickups.
Yes.
Whereas what I aspire to is either a semi-acoustic or a full acoustic electric. The big 1950s sound of the big guitars. They were big and clunky and bulky, and that's what I would.
Well, these are so complicated that Courtney Burnett I told you I saw had some of her switches taped over.
Wow.
So because it just had these out of phase click things and everything with it, really quite. Well, that's beautiful, eh? Look at that. So,
Yeah, so that's what I aspire to, is a big semi-acoustic.
oh,
This
that's
one,
gorgeous.
this is in dollars. So this is a low-end knockoff version of something or other. But it looks great, doesn't it? But
Well, it looks great, but if it's only 400, is that pounds or Canadian?
It says Canadian
Yeah,
dollars,
that's-
dollar C.
The guitar would probably be horrible.
Yeah, the guitar.
You can't
itself.
buy a guitar
But
for
that's
that.
what I want, is that
Yeah,
style
yeah.
of guitar.
Now you look that up, and as far as look that up in a Gretsch or something like that.
Well, even
you're
Gretsch
gonna,
is
you're going to find
not-
thousands upon thousands of
yeah,
dollars.
yeah. So that's my dreaming.
Look at
If
the
I had-
neck. Look how small the. I love that. The neck very
I love
small.
the brass hardware.
Oh yeah,
It's
yeah.
just on the white, it's very nice. So anyway, that's looking up a dream guitar. So that's what I aspire to. The other one is, the name escapes me, and I drool over these guitars all the time. And I believe the Beatles also had these.
Hofner.
Well, that's actually a good name too.
Yeah,
So
Hofner.
speaking of brands of guitars,
Yeah.
I'm going to say Rickenbacker.
Oh, Rickenbacker. Yeah, Paul played that later. Bobby played all the time I was with him. He played a Rickenbacker. Not all the time. Started with a Gibson EBO, which I loved.
Okay, this is the style
Oh,
that I love. The
Is that the
Rickenbacker.
short
That's a
neck one?
semi-acoustic. You can get them in 6-string or 12-string. This is a Rickenbacker
They
360.
also come in a different neck length.
well,
There's a shorter length
that's
and a
kind
longer
of interesting.
length. Yeah.
So what we're looking at is just a standard starburst finish, but the Rickenbacker is the recognizable R on the bridge there,
Yeah.
on the tailpiece.
Yeah. John Lennon had a shorter neck, shorter scale
Okay.
on his Rickenbacker.
Interesting. Why? Since I know nothing
it
about
might
this.
have made him look bigger. I don't know.
Or maybe it's just easier to play.
Or easier to play. Like I was telling Bobby last night, I've played so long now on Capo 3, I'd have to retrain myself to not have the capo. 'cause
Yeah,
it's a
you're
smaller neck.
missing 3 more frets.
Yeah. And all my stuff, all the recordings you ever hear, I'm always Capo 3.
Wow.
Yeah. So, and that's where I feel I know the neck. I can go all over the place on the neck without even looking at it. Take that capo off, I'm lost.
Wow.
Yeah, I'm just lost because I'm just not used to shifting it that way. And Bob said, "Well, then just play with the capo."
Yeah. Well, it doesn't make
At my
any-
age, what difference does it make?
That's exactly right. So
Yeah.
keep it all in perspective. I guess that's one of the things.
Yeah.
So you drool over your particular Fender that you aspire to?
Either the Mustang or the other one. You would literally have to probably put the whole list of Fender.
Does the name
guitars
Jaguar
up.
come to mind? What does that mean? Is that a
Jaguar? Maybe it's No.
no? Okay,
But it might be.
is it a Fender product as well?
Yeah, it's Fender's same. They look the same, only their configurations are just that much more. Is that Jaguar? There you go.
$1,200.
Pop it right up.
We're scanning.
Well, I would be blown away if that's genuine Fender, is it?
Well, it says
Yeah,
Fender.
okay, no. Well, yeah. But let's see, take a closer look at it. Yeah, you see it's very limited. They go up from there to like $6,000. And
So this must be the entry level.
Yeah, they'll have multi.
Yeah, this Fender.
Yeah, entry level, $1,200. The other ones that go up from there, you're talking, well, anywhere $6,000 easy, $4,000 to $6,000.
What changes the price from an entry level to a?
It's the quality of pickups, and then it's the number of out of phases and everything else. Like the one that Courtney Burnett had is there's switches at the top, switches at the bottom, main switches, some cut out the others. You need so I told you, I'm serious. She had some of the switches taped over.
So she's got them on her favorite
the sound
setting.
man's just said, leave it alone.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, but you get those, pipeline and all those early 50s sounds, a real twang to the guitar, and I'm sure now you get a lot more than that out of it, because Courtney Burnett doesn't have that sound. She has more of an effects added to it. But and don't forget, she's at the point now where Fender just you say you want a Fender, they'll give it to you. They'll just send
she's
it
got
to
a
you.
name, so they will.
Yeah,
send
they'll
it
just
to
send you the guitar.
Hey, I wish you and I had that.
Oh, I'd love it. I saw a guy on open up a guitar once that way, and he said, he
unboxed it.
Yeah, unboxed it. Did you send me that?
No.
Yeah, he unboxed it. Yeah, but they just sent it to him.
Yeah.
And what it is the sales guys and the promoters
Yes.
go, Terry Wigmore, that has 1.8 million, uses an Epiphone. So Epiphone will say, hey, we can send you the top-notch Epiphone. Or, in my case,
I shouldn't poo-poo Epiphone, should I?
in my case,
Because they might send us something.
the guitarist that was in the band I was in, he was invited to, I think it was Ovation's factory, and he got to pick his guitar.
Now,
right,
I do
right
like
there.
my Ovation.
Yeah,
I haven't
he got
used
to
it in a
pick his
while.
guitar right out of there. I don't know if it was Ovation. I think it was Ovation.
Yeah, there's some. Glenn Campbell used an Ovation, and that put the love of Ovation in me. Wow.
I have no idea what that was.
I don't know.
but-
Something's fallen.
Yeah.
The Jim and Terry Show going to pieces. We've covered a lot of territory. If you want to see any of these guitars, just look up Fender, Jaguar, Fender, what was the other one?
Mustang.
Fender Mustang, or look up Gretsch, White Falcon, or look up Rickenbacker and see the dreams that Jim and I still have. Old guys with dreams.
Old guys with dreams.
Still seeing visions?
Yes.
Prophets, priests, and poets.
Tonight in a glass
Jim and Terry
city.
Show signing off for now. Bye-bye.